Hey all, welcome to the channel. A bit of a different sort of episode for you, or I don't know what you would call them really. Episode, perhaps. Bit of a different thing for you this morning. I've actually come out here to the Porcupine Hills, which is in the Rocky Mountains. As you can see, this is sort of technically the foothills, but and I've come out here to record a bit of a video for you, and it's a bit different because I have been approached by a company in Canada called ALLPOWERS, who have provided me this generator to review for them. I can offer a discount code which I'll put in the description below. And I thought what I would do is I would come out and do a bit of overlanding and review the product. As you know, I do quite a bit of overlanding, and this sort of battery powered power bank is actually a very useful thing to me, especially because I'm the kind of guy that makes video content, and I have drones and things to charge, and I don't always want to leave the car running because environment and all that sort of stuff. So what I've done is come out here for a couple of days. It's very nice, but because we're in the mountains, it's still quite cold. It's actually quite hot this morning in the sun, but I'm camped just down here, and I've come up like just up the way a bit here because obviously I wanted to get as much solar panel charging done as possible. I'll give you more specs on the thing shortly, but basically it's a 1800 watt peak, 1500 watt pure sine wave battery power bank with multiple outputs in 110 and 240 if you live in the UK. It's currently plugged into a bunch of devices through USB-C, but it has got the USB-A's as well as wireless charging, and obviously a 12 volt output. The solar panel array that I've got here is a 200 watt peak solar panel, and it's quite cool. Even though the sun's out in the shade, it's quite cool today, and it's unusually still. I am not quite sure how much I'll be able to push into it, and I guess that's one of the things that I've come out here to try. I'm charging the battery in the full peak sun now, and oddly enough I've actually got a bigger output here, 171, and it was 180 earlier on. Just me gone behind a cloud or something, but so it's 171 watts output, and you can see now I've got 73 watts of output because I'm charging the drone batteries, the controller, but also you can see I've got a cable there running over to my cooler. I haven't run my cooler for a couple of well, since I arrived here. The computer control panel will tell you how much battery life you've got left, how long it will last at its current draining rate, and how much wattage you're pushing into it when you're pushing wattage into it, amongst other things. So overnight I ran the electric blanket, as I mentioned to you, and I charged a few devices, and I run a little night light, a little camp light thing, when the sun set. And this morning I woke up and it was at 63% of its battery rating. So, and that was with the electric blanket on. Well, I think it has a cut off, but it was on and off all night. If you wanted to buy another 200 watt array, you could just Daisy link them together and you can have multiple, or you can buy bigger ones if you wanted. 200 watts, what does that mean? Well, that array will generate 200 watts at its peak, and it's quite cool today, and we've got good sun right now. But it was, when I looked at it, it was sort of generating about 125, 135 watts, and it might get better obviously as the sun comes up a bit. And so if you leave it, let's assume that it puts out 100 watts per hour, then you can shove into it 600 watts in 6 hours basically, and the bank holds, as I said, 1800 watts of, well actually it holds 1120 kilowatt hours, and so it would take you about 11 hours at 100 watts to charge the thing. I'm up here for 2 or 3 days just to come and do a bit of camping, and I will just review this ALLPOWERS thing. I have brought me my bike, which is an electric bike. A few of you will perhaps know that I've been in for surgery, for heart surgery, and instead of sort of working on an old pedal bike in order to try and build my cardio back up, I've got an e-bike now, and I am going to be charging that up with this generator as well, because this is the kind of thing, I suppose, that if you do this overlanding and biking and sort of stuff would be very helpful. Right, time for a spot of breakfast, I think. What time is it now? It's noon, so I've just come up to move the solar panels because obviously the sun moves around, and I've taken away my GoPro had charged and my phone had charged, and I'm now charging the drone controller. And let's have a look to see what the story is here. We are, I don't know whether you're going to be able to see this, I'll do my best to move it around. We are 91%, and we are charging at 173 watts right now, and there's zero output, so I'm assuming my controller's charged, and that's where we are. So from 63% at maybe 9ish this morning, maybe 8:45, something like that, to noon, we've gone from 63 to 91% with just these two, this one solar panel. Hey, I've just moved up closer to the campsite because I'm not that desperately worried about charging the battery in the full peak sun now. You'll see that the solar array, solar panels here, they'll pretty much track the sun, which is I'll show you what time it is. The sun's pretty much dead ahead. The time is 10 minutes to 2, 10 to 2. And so you can see now from this campsite that the sun will come across. It'll dip behind that that tree there, but then we'll get it all the way until it sets, which should be, he says, over there somewhere, and that's that. So hopefully we should get continuing charging now in this campsite. And to be honest, I could have probably put it here earlier on. I didn't realise it was as well lit here, but there's just these few trees here that I was worried about, and I dare say, looking at the height of it, that I could probably have put it here from about noon onwards perhaps. But right, you can see the sun starting to set on the camp now. It's about 9:15 and 9:30 at night time. It really is very pretty out here on the ridge. Even though the sun's starting to dip down, the solar panels are making 8 watts from the 200 watt array. Not a lot, of course, but it is very nearly dark. The battery is at 98% on the power generator, so it has charged up all day and has charged all of the batteries, the drone batteries, and run the cooler for most of the day. So it's done all right. We are starting to make camp here, as you can see. Jip's just wandering around trying to protect the camp from bears. That's of course very not true. You can see Annie's just starting to make fire. Hey up, Annie. And well, she started to make fire because she's a twisted fire starter. Second day now, and ran the heated blanket again through the night. It wasn't quite as cold as last night, but I still had it on second setting. And the battery was at 63% again this morning. Got a couple of phones plugged in. I haven't moved the solar panels up to the top because can't be bothered basically. I didn't sleep very well last night, so I'm a bit late up and didn't want to waste time walking up to the top of the brow, so I've just left them where they are, and hopefully that'll be enough to charge them up. I'm going to charge the electric bike today because we're going out on a bike ride, so I'll charge that up, and we'll charge the battery back up through the solar panels, and I've got to charge some more drone stuff because I took some more drone footage last night. Anyway, this is the setting. So I've put the solar panels in. You can see they're a bit obscured by some shadows from the trees behind us, and the generator sets, you know, just moved it to where it was yesterday. And let's see what we're kicking here now. Not as much on the watt inputs as it was up the top there. It's 54 watts of input now, whereas yesterday it was 110, 125, something like that up there, because it was in all obscured sun. But it won't take long now for this sun to come. About 11 o'clock it'll start going sort of straight up this, straight across here, and it'll get sun then for the rest of the day. There's Annie having breakfast. That's the rest of the campsite, but you can see here, that's there the trees that are sort of obscuring the sun just a little bit at the moment, but it'll soon pass through them, and then the solar panels will start getting a bit more direct sunlight and increase the wattage. And time for more bacon and eggs look. Bacon butty for breakfast.
Here he comes to save the day. Mighty Mouse is on his way. Vroom vroom, motherfucker.
This really is spectacular country, the Porcupine Hills here in southern Alberta. You can just see on the top of that ridge there a fire outpost, a fire outlook. People actually live up there for the summer because it's so highly elevated and it stands proud of the prairies. You do actually get a tremendous view, as you can see here, of a large amount of terrain, and any smoke that comes up from naturally caused fire or accidental fire can be seen quite a long way off, and they can alert fire authorities to manage the fire appropriately. Now I have managed, as you probably guessed now, to lose the audio to this clip, but you can see after the bike ride Annie and I have done on the previous day and today, that I've got between 2 and 3 bars on the bike. Now the Scott bike's battery is 625 watts, which is quite a large battery for an e-bike, and having lost sort of, I guess, 3/5 out of it, we would say probably I need to put somewhere about 350 or 400 watts back into it. Now we've done probably 35, Jip and I and Annie have done 35 kilometres, as I said, over the previous day, where we did 10k and then 22 today, so maybe more. And I have plugged the bike into the ALLPOWERS portable power generator here to shove power, and you can see that the bike and all the other tackle that is plugged in here is drawing 226 watts, and there's only 143 watts of input, but the battery's at 88%. And because it's 1152 watts, it would actually completely charge that bike, as well as those little batteries that you can see on there from the mics and things. But at the same time, you can see the cable again running to the car, because I am running the cooler all the way through this, and that's quite a significant power drain on its own, sort of 50 or 60 watts. It'll probably take me like maybe 3 or 4 hours to charge the bike, depending upon how quickly how much current the bike will draw. But at the same time as charging all these other little devices, as you see, the drone batteries there taking some power too. Already it's dropped to 87%. The solar panels here are pointed directly at the sun. You can sort of see the haze and moisture in the air, which sort of does reduce the efficacy of them a little bit. Right, well, the power bank's dropped obviously because it's been drawing, it was drawing 200 and whatever it was watts, as you saw, and now it's drawing 128, so the bike is very nearly fully charged. What I have noticed is that if you prop the solar panels up at a better inclination, you actually gain more watts. When you use the actual stands for the solar panels, the one that are stuck on behind with Velcro, the solar panels were a bit too steeply elevated, and now I'm charging at about 90 watts, and that's increased from 60 when I had it on the stands that come with it. So I am actually quite impressed with it, really. I mean, it's done ideal for what I wanted. I did look on the thing, we did 22 miles on the e-bike today, and if I go out tomorrow, which I might, it'll be fully charged, and I might be able to do another 22 miles or something like that. So it's been very handy, really. It's charged up my phone, Annie's phone, run the cooler, charged the bike, done all the things. It's a very useful bit of kit for not a lot of space, really. So like I said, if you're interested in this, you can go to allpowers.ca, ALLPOWERS.ca, and you can find lots of various kits. You can buy like just the power bank, or you can buy the power bank plus a solar panel array or 2 solar panel arrays, and you can pick between the sides of the power bank and so on and so forth to suit your needs. That one, as I've said before, it's 1800 watt peak, 1500 watt sort of tick over, and the solar array is 200 watts, and it's done me ideally for what I needed here, which was to charge drone batteries and do some biking, really. So it's an ideal piece of kit. I do have a small inverter that I carry with me, but to run the bike, to power the bike, would have required me to run the car for quite some time. As you see, it's been on for 2 hours now, 2.25 hours now. So you know, I wouldn't really wanted to run the car for that long. It's quite late right now, and I'm just trying to get the last bit of the sun as it drops just beyond the horizon there. So I should have done this earlier on, because it picks it right up a little bit, and I can't just see what it is now from here, but it's about, I suppose we could go in, couldn't we? I think it's about 9 watts. It is. But while I was up at, while I had it sat on the deck, it was only doing 2 watts, so it is better. And I should have done this earlier on, because it's pointing right at the sun. I don't know why I didn't think of it earlier, really. But last day, and I've just packed LandRover up, and I'm doing last little bit of charging. I'm going out on the bike again, but I'd forgotten that I'd brought me derailleur charger, and so I hadn't bothered to charge it, the derailleur battery, but I did find it earlier on when I was routing through to put cables away, so I'm charging that now. So this morning, as you know, last night it didn't get much above 65% on the battery, and then I ran the electric blanket overnight, and this morning it was 37%. And I've done a bunch of charging and charged the phone and the flashlights and other such things. So let's have a look where we are. So I've just had to put this in the shade so we can actually see the screen here, but you can see the 0 input and 0 output, so I'm assuming my battery must have charged, and it's now 27%. So there's still sort of nearly a third, not quite a third, but sort of left, really. So you know, I could have charged some other things. You can see I have got a microphone charging there, but obviously that's fully charged as well. I'm not going to get the solar panels out and start charging it here, because I'm headed home this afternoon, and I'll just charge it there, mostly because I've got solar panels on my house roof and they'll charge it. I won't need the extra battery power for anything in particular, so I'm just going to leave that here. I'm also, you can just see my bike over there, look, I'm not going to charge that up either after I've been on this bike ride just now, because again, I'm going to take that home and charge it there. So it's done a grand job, really, and it's I don't know, 10 o'clock is it now, and the sun's, you can see the sun's quite bright. I could have this charged from 27% to full by the end of tonight, if I'd wanted to, and probably part charged or even fully charged the bike battery as well on top of that, as well as, you know, a couple of other bits and bobs with the day's sunlight that we have here. I mean, it does help that it does help that we live somewhere where there's a lot of sun. And with that, it really only remains for me to thank ALLPOWERS for sending me the generator and the solar panel, and for giving me the opportunity to review this and try it out. I'm very, very impressed with it. It does exactly what I want. It may be too small or too big for your needs, but I'm sure that they seem to have a large variety of choice on the website, so I'm sure you can find something that would work. I have taken a photograph, which I'll pop up now, of the various I don't know what you would call it, like international versions of ALLPOWERS. I did mention to you that there was an ALLPOWERS United Kingdom and allpowers.ca, and there might be other ones, allpowers.com or something, I don't know. But anyway, I've taken a photograph of that and I'll pop that up now so you can have a look. As I said, they do things in the UK, so if you wanted such a thing and you found it an interesting thing, you can order one from them. I will give you the current price. Also, I should mention that if you are interested in the R1500 power station, there's a 10% discount code offered by ALLPOWERS, which I shall put into a link into the description. And the regular price, I think, was $13.99, but I've put a big banner on the bottom and tells you what price it is with the solar panel array. And then if that seems like the sort of thing you're interested in, then have a go at it. I've been very pleased with it. It's very easy to put together. It's very easy to carry. It's very easy to move around. It's sort of idiot proof, so it's good for me. You just press the button and it works. It's ideal, really. And with that, I guess we'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in. Do like and subscribe to the video. Do leave a comment to give your thoughts on well, anything really, and we'll catch you next time. Cheerio.